Smoke on this for a minute. Just for a minute. I don't care what your little politics is, liberal, Democrat, Republican, conservative, Christian, non-Christian, black, so-called Israelite Jews, or the real Jews, or whatever your religion is. Smoke on this. In my country, in our country, those who are truly citizens of the country, they deliberately, just think about this, they deliberately stop the police, the cops, from protecting the innocent, from protecting the non-criminal people who are not committing the crimes, but they are deliberately protecting the criminals. Think about that. I don't care what color you are, rich or poor, wherever you might be. Think about that. They are protecting the criminals. They have literally given the criminals permission to rob, steal, and kill. And if you dare fight back, if you dare protect yourself, you get punished. And if the cops are around, they're not going to do anything. They have been forbidden to protect you. Think about that. Did you ever imagine that that could be possible in the United States of America? And they do it by making up lies. Oh, you got too many blacks in jail, blacks in this, and blacks that, and blacks this, and then they start adding other people of color. And you fall for it. And you vote for these people that's going to deliberately not protect you. They even, in New York, I believe it's New York, they say, oh, we're going to put those carjacking thing on your car, so if your car gets stolen, we'll know where to go to find it, but we ain't going to do nothing about it. You can't do anything about it. We ain't going to send no cops. And you vote for these kind of people. This is hell on earth. And it's going to get worse. Because there are people in our country, especially people of color, but not only, who are willing and happily go out and break the law, break into stores, rob, steal, and kill people that are traveling and stuff, because they know they're going to get away with it as far as the law of the land, but in reality, they're not going to get away with it, because what they're doing to others, they're bringing it upon themselves. The one thing I can promise you, I don't care what it is, what you do to others, you're doing it to you. But just think about, there is literally hell right here on earth. Not inside of you and outside of you, inside of others. That's what we're witnessing. And a lot of people have fear of what they see. Not only do they have fear of what they see in themselves, but they have fear of what they see in others. Another thing that's very interesting to me as a part of this hell that is happening on earth, they have something called Black Friday. And the people, not all but most, have been trained to be ready for Black Friday. And on Black Friday, the night before, they go into a state of hypnotic state. And on that Friday morning, they're at it over things, physical things. They go at it. They fight one another. They get credit. They push and shove. They get in lines over things, physical things. And once they get them, now they're in debt. So they got more problems. They committed suicide because they can't pay the bills. They're committing they'll have created more problems. But they've been mentally, emotionally, mentally and emotionally trained for Black Friday. And they rush in where fools fear to tread. Something like that. Just when will you take control of your own life? How much has to happen to you before you finally say, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm going to pull away from the crowd. I'm not going to be a crowd person anymore. I'm not going to be afraid to stand alone and seek the right path. While I live, I ain't going to wait till I die to do it. I'm going to take control now and see what happens. Because the way I've been doing it and the way it is happening, it ain't working. A few are doing that. Most will never do it. They love their misery. They love their hell on earth, inside and outside of themselves. But a few will. They'll hear, they be like, what the, I didn't know that. I didn't know all I had to do was look inside of myself and live in paradise from within. I didn't know I didn't have to be brainwashed for Black Friday. This is how the stores and the advertisers and everyone make buku money off me, and I just run around like an idiot fighting over material things, buying stuff that I don't need with money I don't have. I have a debit card or a credit card, they say. I'm just going to run it up because I ain't got to worry about it now. And then when I got all the stuff, here come the bills. What happened to you? That they could brainwash you that you're getting things cheaper on Black Friday. The price that you're paying on Black Friday is the real price you should have been paying anyway. That's the real price of the product. They just hiked it up, the prices, beforehand to make extra money off you then. TechCrunch is reported Black Friday is seen as the day that the holiday sales period kicks off. You're not getting sales on, for the most part. Some cases you are, but most of them you're not. That $700 TV was already $700. They just told you it was $1,000, and you were paying $1,000 for a $700 TV. Here's what Black Friday has looked like in the past. Watch this from Quippy. Look at that. Animals. That is crazy. If you're not looking at it, hundreds and thousands, maybe thousands of people breaking in. I mean, just like wild cows breaking in. I mean, rushing into these stores, taking TVs and things like that. And when you get home and you hook that TV up that you fought over, got in line for, and carried on that way, you get home and you hook the TV up and you sit back to watch it and you cry. And you're lonely. And you're worried. And you're in debt. And you're scared. And you have fear. And you're looking for love. And nothing has changed. What a sad way to live. When I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. Not really, but that's the song. TechCrunch is reporting that discounts and the flexible payment options were behind $9.8 billion in online sales in the U.S. on Black Friday, a record for the day. Material things is not going to bring you perfect peace, all for the thrill of it, the pleasure. A bunch of nothing and then the pleasure passes, and all you got are heartaches now and worries. But you won't take control of your life and do all things in moderation. You rush with the crowd. Have you noticed most people love a crowd life? They don't like the individual straight and narrow path. They have to join a crowd. And the crowd validates them, and they validate the crowd, and then they turn on one another. CBS is reporting that increased law enforcement planned for Black Friday. Increased law enforcement planned for Black Friday, but even if the law is there, they ain't gonna do nothing. They can't do anything but stand back and watch you steal, kill, fight, and they can do nothing about it. New York Post. New York store owners lost $4.4 billion last year as a result of retail theft. Watch this compilation.
The California Highway Patrol is actually joining forces with other units to conduct raids. Take a look at the merchandise they recovered. More than $350,000 in 2 locations in the Oakland area. Now, this problem is costing retailers more than $112 billion in losses in 2022. That's a 19% jump from the year before, according to the National Retail Federation. Now, some retailers worry the increase in sales won't be enough. Many consumers are feeling the pressure of credit card debt, student loan repayments, high interest rates, and inflation.
Look at the black. They're shopping.
Yeah.
This is their black Christmas shopping. Thanksgiving shopping. Reparations. Reparation now, reparation forever. They made a law that says you can steal up to $900 to $1,000 worth of stuff. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. And then the out-of-control individual said, oh, that sounds good to me. Reparations now, reparation forever. And they go and steal it. They don't care if the cameras are on, the people watching, cops are around, security guards are around. Don't touch me. I'm getting my reparations. I want to give you an example of a major problem in the world, but especially in my country. My country comes first to me. America first. All right? And it's a major situation. There is something called Uptalk, also called Upspeak. And an example of Uptalk and Upspeak, and I've seen this a lot over the years. I remember sometime when I'm counseling the mother and her children, and she would go, the kid would be complaining about the mother, right? And when it's time for the mother to speak, she was like, I understand. Uh-huh. You know, mother love you, right? I love you, right? She would be up speaking. And it was like she bowing her head, speaking up, condescending, and bucking her eyes, and it's all fake. Well, apparently, that is a major deal in America today, especially coming from women, but not only. Not only nowadays, there's some men who are doing it too, especially educated men. They have been educated out of all common sense. They do it too. Are you going? You're going, right? What the? Well, there's something called Uptake. And this is inhersite.com. This is from inhersite.com. Uptalk, also called Upspeak, is usually associated with how women speak. It's usually associated with how women speak. Have y'all ever experienced this before, or seen it, or heard about it? An example up top from the White House. Watch this compilation. Here's an example of it from the White House. Watch this compilation.
Popular term for it is uptalking.
You know that thing that people do, it's called uptalk?
Upward inflections are another common speech pattern. Upward inflections in the voice add uncertainty to comments, turn statements into questions. Many women end statements in a questioning tone to make their comments more agreeable.
This holiday season, from gas to groceries, the Council on Supply Chain Resilience, the Defense Production Act to mitigate drug shortages, making new investments in clean energy, lower inflation at U.S. ports, Social Security, Medicare,
way of talking,
healthcare coverage for millions of Americans, charge women more than men, certainly affirmative action, which we think is incredibly important. Those are indeed what we're seeing.
You're falling for this, right? Amazing. Up top make it seem stupid. What a mess.
So California.
Sure is.
Everybody talks like that around here.
You can tell the person lying. Are you okay? I see what you mean. You going to dinner, right? Mama, you coming home with mama, right, kids? The inflation is not as bad as it seems, right? Okay, hopefully we're back. Amazing. So y'all seen that, and the women have it bad, and the more educated they are, the worse they are with up top. But not just educated women for the most part, but the worse they are with up top. What a mess! Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. And some may call this condescending, and it really is. This up top mess, upspeak, is condescending. But that's the nature of the person that's doing it. They have a condescending nature because their nature is of their God, their father, the devil. And the devil's whole plan is to rob, steal, and kill, to deceive. Cambridge Dictionary defines this as condescending. Condescending meaning treating someone as if you are more important or more intelligent than them. Synonyms include arrogant, conceited, self-important, and snooty. Right? That's right, right? You do understand, right? You're going to take those antidepressant pills daily, right? And walk around looking like a zombie, right? Amazing. What a mess, huh? There are a false reality in this world and a real reality. This up top is a false reality. It's of their father, the devil. It's of their father, the devil. There is a battle between good and evil. And the government lie, and more lies, and lie. It just tell lies. Tell you sweet little lies. It tell you sweet little lies. It support you in being pitiful. It support your pitifulness so it can use you for personal gain. And Lord, know there are so many pitiful people. I've never seen so many pitiful people in all my born days. Everybody and their mama are pitiful. It's just pitiful everywhere. I'm like, what the? And the White House, the government lied to you. This is from CNN. CNN, the White House is eager to promote dropping prices as they look to convince Americans that the president's policies are paying off. Before I play this soundbite, gas prices are through the roof. They act like you don't know it. Food prices are through the roof. They act like you don't know that. And they come back and tell you that it ain't true. All of a sudden, elections are coming, so the prices are not the same anymore. Well, how come my wallet feel the same? Here's the White House on the dropping prices. Watch this.
This holiday season, families are seeing
Uptalk.
lower prices on everyday items from gas to groceries. As holiday shopping
Uptalk.
starts, shelves are stocked and prices for toys, TVs, and used vehicles are all down from last year. We take that very seriously. It's not a joke to us. It is important to us.
That a majority of Americans outside of this building are not buying it.
So here's the thing.
Inflation is up over 17%.
Taking the actions that he's taken has worked. And we see that with the holiday season, right? With families and how we've seen lower prices coming down. When we walked into this administration, the economy was on a tailspin. That is the fact. Because of the last administration, because of the Trump administration,
Blame it
because
on
of how they
Trump.
dealt with COVID and the pandemic. We actually had to fix the problem that we saw that the last administration left us.
There's, like we don't remember that when the Great White Hope was there, Donald Trump. And by the way, since she mentioned the Great White Hope, let me see what he has to say this morning.
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
Thank you. Is it legal? Amazing. They always blame it on Trump. One lie after another. It's amazing to me. Just plain old amazing. And the Lord knows this guy is lying, Joe Biden. And the Lord knows this man is lying. Watch this from CNBC. Joe Biden took aim at cooperation for charging prices, he said, were artificially high. Watch this from the White House.
I grew up in a family like many of you where when grocery prices went up, the price of a gallon of gas went up, there was a conversation at the kitchen table. I mean, literally, not figuratively. Those conversations have been going on at kitchen tables all across America for a while now. They're proposing cuts in investments in roads, bridges, the internet, and high-speed internet, the very things that provided from anyway. They're across the board.
I don't know how I feel like saying all this.
When historians are taking a look at this, looking back at this moment, when they look back on the work we're doing to build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, to strengthen American supply chains and manufacturing workers all across the country, they're going to say that this was the beginning when America won the competition of the 21st century. I've never been more optimistic about our nation's future. So just keep at it. We're going to lower prices for average Americans all across this country.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
How do I get out of here? Which way do I go? Where am I? How do I get out of here? They got me reading all this stuff. I'm frustrated. How do I get out of here? Pitiful people. They try to tell you all of a sudden inflation going down. And you're supposed to believe it. And unfortunately, some people are going to believe it. I want to give you an example of a pitiful person. You heard me talk about pitiful person, people. I want to let you see and hear what a pitiful person is. An example, this is one real good example. All right, but there are so many more. Watch this from the New York Post. A mother of two has broken down in tears as she shares that her family is living paycheck to paycheck. Watch this from Fox.
I feel like my husband and I are doing everything right. We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday.
I just needed to vent in the moment. I needed to vent to my phone and just, I guess, get the words out of my brain with all the stress that I was feeling. We're all in the same situation with the economy and the price of groceries and gas and just the struggle of middle-class America.
I wonder who she voted for. Did she vote for the Great White Hope, or did she vote for the government that she has? That's a pitiful person. And her husband is pitiful for letting her go on TV and speak in that way. He's pitiful too. It's all an act. There are so many pitiful people in my country today, men and women, pitiful. What a mess. When will you wake up? What will it take to wake you up? What will it take to wake you up? And it's all an illusion. Just imagine that. This is why, another example of why we have to, but a spiritual order is that in order to be free, you must overcome the world. Meaning that you have to overcome words. You have to overcome the idea that there is a you. You have to overcome the influence of the world. And when I say the influence of the world, I'm talking about the people of the world. I'm not talking about the physical world itself. All human beings are deceived and asleep until they wake up. And the greatest sin is to forget to be awake. Here's another example. Apparently people use the word like a lot. Like, I went down the road, like, I picked some cotton, like, it was hot out there, like, I couldn't wait to go home, like, I had a peanut butter hot dog sandwich, like, it was so good, like, I can't wait to have another one, like. Unconscious speaking. Unconsciousness is devastating. Unconsciousness is pure evil. That's why all the hell that's happening on this earth is because people are unconscious. Satan is their daddy, they cannot see. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. If ever that was the truth, that's the truth. So, have you ever wondered why people use the word like so much? They said the word over and over again. According to The Guardian, saying the word like has long been seen as a sign of laziness and stupidity. But its use goes back to Shakespearean time and is an indicator of intelligence. I may not know, but I know this is not intelligent. Watch this from TikTok.
I think the biggest thing that annoys me in the whole dating world is talking stages. That's so annoying. The whole and just the inconsistency in them. I literally hate that so much. But I think that's my biggest thing. It's just the fact of just you I don't know how to word this. Talking stages, and it's just you're labeled that, and it's people are considered you can't you're just confused, and most of the time the girl gets attached or something, and they see it it's gonna lead to a relationship, and it's always not, and it's just that's my biggest thing is I just hate the whole how talking stages are so normalized. Traditional dating does not exist in this generation.
If she used the word like one more time, I'm going to have to take a drink. That is not intelligence. That's dumb. It's funny that it's interesting that intelligence is being seen as something good and the world going crazy as a result of it. and people paying buku money to go to universities, colleges, and get intelligent, and they come out dumber than they were when they left home. Her son, Shakespeare, didn't mean it that way. LOL. I don't know a lot about Shakespeare, but I doubt if he used like that much. Like. Somebody need to say, hey, cut it out with the light. She's unconscious. That's why she's speaking that way. She has no clue she's even having a conversation. And she does not know she's using that word so many times. Isn't that amazing? The Rebel, this is from the Rebel Media. Gavin McInnes. 10 secrets to great conversation. Watch this.
I'm in a bar the other day, and this guy starts talking about his mom. He said, if my mom was here, she'd be... And I just stop. I said, never, ever talk about your mom. 10 secrets to conversation. Rule number 1, don't talk about your mother. Okay? I don't want to hear that word ever out of your mouth. And your dad. I don't want to hear about your dad hasn't heard of, doesn't know who Lady Gaga is or something. That's profoundly dull. Number 2, stop saying like. Holy Stop saying like. You sound like a valley girl. This is getting embarrassing. And I'm not just talking about 19-year-old girls. I'm talking about men. Yeah. I'm talking about millennials especially. So there was like 10 people there. Just say there was 10 people there. I was walking in there and there wasn't even no one there. Like, or they just replace entire words. They'll go, so I was like, and he was like, and I say to them, you are a retard. 3, never ask, what do you do? God, you don't talk about what do you do. That's such an LA thing. It's super corny. Number 4, astrology. This is what you do when someone says, when were you born? July. Oh, Leo, right? You just go. Number 6, keep it light. Number 7, no technology allowed, no phones. God, keep your phone in your pocket. You want to keep everything moving. It's like Little League Baseball. I always say to the kids, just swing. Stop being a snob and letting all these strikes go past you because they weren't in your wheelhouse. Just keep it going, kids. Swing, talk, and phones kill conversation. Number 8, you only get 2 minutes to speak. I've noticed someone will talk and they'll tell me like the whole history of their kids' music lessons until we're sort of done. And I know everything there is to know about their daughter's piano lessons. And I go, I shouldn't be an expert on that. You only have 2 minutes. Number 9 is, it's not about you. You may talk about yourself a little bit. Someone will say, there was a crazy thunderstorm yesterday. And they'll go, yeah, the worst thunderstorm I was ever in was in Thailand. We're on vacation. That's not fun for other people. We should be talking about things external to all of us and learning from it. And that brings me to number 10, which is the most important one. You should come to a conclusion. That's what a conversation is. It's just a fun game. And it's not about you. And it's not about your mom.
Hey, man, that's deep. I know adult millennial men who use the word like what the? And it's so true. You can ask a person one question about something, and they'll go on and on and on, and you're sorry you ask. And you're like, come to, okay. And they never really answer the question anyway. As I will listen to Gavin just now, I think, I could be wrong, but I think there are more people going to colleges and universities now than in my generation or maybe any other time. But they're coming out dumber. Why is that? Oh, they have dumb teachers. Oh, okay. It's more about getting the money than it is educating the people. Isn't that amazing? And the paper, what you might call a degree from college, I have a PhD, I have an LSD, I have an MAD, I have a psychiatrist, psychologist, lawyer, doctor. I have a degree. I have double degrees, they say. And all they're doing is saying, I'm as dumb as a doorknob with an expensive piece of paper. And I think it's good. What a mess. Come back to common sense. And men, you are created to lead. You were not created to follow. From this day forward, do what you want. But I would encourage you highly, do not, don't not, do not, ain't not, is not, don't not, do not. I have a not. Marry a woman that will not obey you. Because two leaders ain't going to work. There's a president and a vice president. And the man is the president. Over all women, really, but especially your wife. And even if you are still in a fallen state, because you have not returned to the Father and overcome all those emotions and crappy stuff you picked up in life, you still were created to lead. And the woman needs you to lead. Otherwise, unless she's the type of woman that's seeking the Father herself, not going to church, read the Bible, and carrying on kind of a woman, but a woman that's looking within and seeing that she's wrong and seeing that she's angry and willing to go and forgive and knowing that Satan is her God until she forgives. And that kind of woman is not going to want to lead. She will naturally want to obey her husband without a question. Without a question or thought or anything. Yesterday we showed this to you from the New York Post. A mother of two has broken down in tears as she shared that her family is living paycheck to paycheck. Lord, have mercy.
My husband and I are doing everything right. We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage. Bought some groceries. Put some gas in the car. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. Growing up, we were told, go to college, get a degree, work to support your family. Here we are.
You would lie to.
Do that. Now what? Now what? This isn't how it's supposed to be. Somebody has to do something to change this because, I make good money. He makes good money. And I don't want to get into the politics with it, so don't come on my comments talking about Biden and Trump, and I don't want to hear it. It's not about that. Maybe it is about that, but either way, I don't want to hear about it.
I'm sorry to say, but this is lying about something. Acting on a stage for some reason. Think about that. Why is she married and she working and going to school and carrying on like that, and her husband make good money? What's wrong with him that he's allowed her to do that? And what's wrong with him that he's allowed her to come on TikTok and make such a stupid video? And if another thing, if everything is paid up, the rent paid, the mortgage paid, they got grocery, everything, got everything, how come $200 to $300 not enough for the next week or so? They ain't got to buy nothing. Nobody out here owe you anything, lady. It ain't Joe Biden problem. It ain't Bush's Trump problem. It's your problem. Man, don't let your woman do that. Keep her away from TikTok or X. Not to be. Watch this. Social media is exploding with women complaining about how life is unaffordable now. Stay home then. Here's another example from X.
We're all struggling each day. Just to get groceries has now costed me a second mortgage. Let's be serious. Last couple years I've had to get credit cards just to get by. certain things, school clothes or certain Christmas, let's talk about that, extra added expenses when I'm already struggling. I mean, my bills are getting paid, but I'm falling behind every single day because I have to pick and choose which bills to go behind on so I have groceries in my house. That's not right. It's not okay. Something's got to change, and I know I can't be the only one that's out here. I feel like everybody is silently struggling and just doing the things to get by and going into debt and trying to keep your head above water and smile on your face. And yeah, silently struggling, I feel. Am I the only one?
Go back home and be a wife, lady, and a mama to those children. And let your husband handle that, if you got one. And I'm wondering out loud, is she voting for Donald Trump or is she going to vote for one of the Democrats? Women, stop whining. Ladies, stop whining. Either you're going to take the man role and be it or you're not. Men don't whine. Not real one. And stop going on these TikTok making a fool out of yourself. God is a dispassionate guy. He's not a passionate guy. He's not emotional. That's your father, the devil. That's the spirit of your mama. You're just like your mama. Boys and girls, men and women. You've been recreated in your mama's image. And you see your father the way your mama see him and everything. You must be born again. What's happening in the public schools today? And the parents still send their children there. You know why? Because they don't care about the children. They pretend they do. The mothers go out and mothers for children, mothers for education. The mothers for education for children are lying too. It's all an act. It's all drama. It's just an act. Because if they truly love the children, they would stay home and raise the man's children and teach the children. But they want to get their ego fulfillment, so they got to become workers. And then once they become workers, they complain about that. It's all about self. That ain't going to change until your nature change, your heart changes. CBS is reporting on February 8th of this year, CBS was reporting that in Tuscaloosa County, Alabama, sweet home Alabama, at Hillcrest High School, more than 200 students walked out of school in protest, claiming the administration, claiming the administration would not allow them to discuss slavery or civil rights. Watch this from WBRC.
The group of students felt they were not being heard when it came to sensitive matters such as learning about slavery and civil rights or anything related to black history before the 1970s.
Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head.
The protest was passionate and energetic.
Students were told to not include contact or civil rights in the Black History Month program. Students told that they look like hookers on the side of the road on a Saturday night.
We're all one community. There's nothing separate between us. We're all equal.
Lisa Young with the Tuscaloosa branch of the NAACP.
We held a forum last Saturday and discovered that there was a culture here that was not conducive.
Look at Satan.
To educating.
The protesters say they would like to see a school administration that reflects more of its student body. 55% of the school population is black.
A collective group as a body, we should come together and fight against this.
Amazing. Amazing. Their mind is in the back of their heads. And you got this stupid woman from whatever group that was leading them straight to hell. Who wanted to talk about slavery or civil rights? No such thing as civil rights anyway. It's all lies, but the next generation of black kids are being set up to march as adult, rally, burn down America, tear down statues, and feel good about being wrong. They have no idea what they're doing. Zero. And the parents don't care enough to keep them at home so they don't be brainwashed like that. The parents don't love. You're lying when you say you love your children. You don't love your children. You're a liar. You don't have love, and you're lying. What kind of parent would let their child be taught black history, slavery, and civil rights? Where's the love in that? And some stupid woman from some group, NWCP, whatever she says you are, using your children to get perceived power and wealth for herself, and you sacrifice your children to that devil woman. CBS reported Hillcrest High School held its Black History Month program week after student claimed school official wasn't allowing them to talk about civil rights. Watch this from CBS.
More than 1,000 people attended today's Black History Month program here at Hillcrest High School. Many students tell us they were pleased about how the program went
they can
because
dance.
they did showcase African culture
That's
and
what we want.
the topic of slavery.
We want to dance. Now we learning.
African culture was showcased and on full display inside the Hillcrest High School gymnasium with African dance performances.
There
Students
you go.
performed songs from the 1970s through the 1990s to show how African Americans have shaped U.S. culture.
That's
I'm excited for everyone to get educated about Black history.
Look how excited
like I
she
said,
is.
we're so excited for everyone to be here so that we can educate everyone and have a good time and express our culture.
2 weeks ago, more than 200 students protested, claiming the
that.
administration would not allow them to discuss
That's a sad
slavery
picture.
or civil rights.
Countless hours of practicing and rehearsing. We've had people come in and out, people tell us what we can and can't do, try to limit what we do.
Oh yeah, now we learning.
It's really important to like
Look
how
at that
we've
hair.
grown up, like gospel music that was made at the time where like they were oppressed, but they found like hope.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught.
That should get you to the moon. So the white kids sitting in class, they're learning to read, write, arithmetic, to build a ship, to go to the moon, to build beautiful buildings, to start businesses, amazing jobs and things. And the black kids learning to dance. They want to dance, dance, dance. They won't let us dance. They won't let us learn to dance like they did in slavery. And then they get mad. They get mad because the white man doing great things and they want to run him out of his own country because they're jealous. They learn how to dance and play basketball, but they never did learn math, 2 + 2. What a mess, huh? Oh, but they know about slavery and they know about dancing. Oh, they're so proud now. See how happy they are? They can dance. They ain't got to sit down and do no other work. Oh, we so happy now. We satisfied. The white man didn't want us to learn to dance. What the? You're going the wrong way. You're going the way of China. You're going the way of Mommy Africa. You're going the way of China. Watch this from Fox. A survivor of Mile Cultural Revolution says it is taking place right here in America. This is a survivor. Watch this from Fox.
A war has been raged to America, and that is the Cultural Revolution. A cultural revolution that I experienced in China that's destroyed China, and it is taking place right here in America. I grew up in China, in South China, and went through the government school indoctrination. And we were taught the world is made of two kinds of people, the oppressors and the oppressed. The oppressed are the virtuous people, and the oppressor are the evil ones. So there's no thinking involved. That is called the Cultural Revolution. You get rid of anything that is traditional. Get rid of the American founding principles to replace with Marxist ideology, simplified as DEI.
I'll rest my case. I'll rest my case. Blacks are the oppressed, And whites are the oppressor, they say. And blacks are being used. And they are so happy to be used. As long as they can dance and sing and throw a basketball, they're quite happy. And they're proud of it. They don't know they're being used to take America to the way of China. And generations of blacks are telling you that they're oppressed. The white man is holding them down. They don't know they've been lied to. They don't know they've been brainwashed. The white man holding them down. Makes you want to cuss. I'm so sick of the blacks doing this that it's not even funny, but I understand the evil now. And there are some blacks who are starting to wake up to it by waking up within themselves. Most are not, but some are. They're yearning for the fathers. No education, no intellectual knowledge, none of that, no money, no white people giving up everything. It's going to help that problem. Zero. No lowering the standards in America. No putting these people in air traffic control without knowing what the world they're doing. None of that is going to solve the problems of the children. Adults and children. Adults are children. Breitbart and the New York Post is reporting hundreds of students riot through the halls of New York City High School after discovering that a teacher was pro-Israel. Can you imagine that? Hundreds of students riot through the halls of New York City High School after discovering that a teacher was pro-Israel. Students vandalized part of the school, and the teacher had to be locked in an office, and the mob tried to push its way into her classroom. 4 students were arrested for allegedly assaulting school safety agents in the halls of the same Queens school. Watch this from TikTok and X. What does this have to do with reading, writing, and arithmetic? Fighting like that in the hallway. Those kids are glad to be out of class. For those that can't see it, they're showing these dumb students rioting in the hallway there, fighting, trying to break into the classroom because this teacher supports Israel. What does that have? And none of those kids understand what's going on, period. They've been brainwashed. Black people, when will you say no to evil? When will you become an individual again the way you were before the civil rights movement? Why can't you see you're being used? Why don't you want to see it? And that this is not helping you at all. And I bet you if you ask 5 of those black kids to spell Palestine, they won't know how to spell it. Period. But they want to know about slavery and civil rights so they can learn to dance better. Post-millennials reported that a fight at a high school in Raleigh, North Carolina, left one student dead and another one injured on Monday. And a 14-year-old suspect is under arrest and has been charged with murder as a juvenile. Watch this compilation.
It's fairly safe. We don't usually have stuff like this happen, so when it does, it's just a huge shock.
In the aftermath of today's tragedy, we will review all of our safety processes and protocols to determine what happened, what changes may need to be made.
One student is dead, another is in the hospital. A third is charged with murder.
Grief counseling will be available for students here at Southeast Raleigh High School after that tragic day. You can see one student throwing a punch. We're stopping the video before the student in the red hoodie pulls out a knife. The fight then spills into the gym where more students get involved. We pause the video again when the student in the red hoodie starts swinging the knife. Sherelle McLaughlin says it was her 14-year-old son who had the knife. He's now charged with murder. She claims he was bullied at school before this incident.
And I called the school because I told them that something may happen. I don't know.
Black excellence. That's going to get worse. It ain't going to get better. Sorry. And I'm encouraging black people, stop fighting, forgive your mothers, and return to your fathers. You'll be free. All this other message is evil. NBC has reported that administrators at a Georgia middle school ignored multiple warnings before a student stabbed a classmate over a dozen times, leaving her with catastrophic injuries. Watch this from News Nation.
You're watching a young woman stab a classmate 14 times. The school allegedly knew the assailant made threats, even had the knife, but did nothing. Now the victim's mother, Ashley Wilson, is suing the school. The middle schooler survived but required plastic surgery for the stab wounds to her face, neck, torso, other parts of her body. She needed 18 stitches in her back alone.
This is one of the worst situations that I've seen, though. As you mentioned, it looks pretty clear from the complaint that the school district knew about this. They were told repeatedly that a girl had a knife and was targeting this group of kids, and they did nothing about it. And I just spoke with the lawyer earlier today, Adam Princenthal, and according to him, he's got a strong case, and it looks like there may have been teachers who were watching the buildup before the fight started, and they did nothing.
And what they didn't tell you, black kids stabbed white girl. And they nicely left that out. Black kid stabbed white girl, one white girl. If it had been the other way around, white kids stabbed black girl, that'd be all they'll be talking about right now. And they will make it clear it was white, racist, supremacists, Donald Trump supporters. But they didn't tell you it's the blacks because they don't want you correcting the blacks. They need the blacks to be doing what they're doing. And then that mother would say, oh, I called the school with the other incident. I called the school trying to let them know something about to happen. I don't know what, but something's going to happen. And white people, you don't love your kids. I'm sorry. Any white person that sends their children to a black school, or if the blacks have infiltrated your school and you still send your little white kids there, you're doing it because you hate your children. You hate your children. You don't love them. And you let people tell you emotions and anger is good, they're telling you, come on down to hell with me. It's so bad now, the teachers are fighting students. Watch this compilation.
You're not gonna talk to me like that, you dumb.
Wow,
You're not gonna talk to me like that.
Kick through the.
Don't talk to me like that.
Look at the
You're not gonna talk
blacks.
to me like that. You dumb playing my face right now. You need to give her a question.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Excellent. Black excellent.
She about to lose her job. What the miss?
Wow. Black excellence. I'm so proud of y'all, the black folks. Y'all come here. This is in America. Doesn't it look like South Africa? The blacks in South Africa did the exact same thing, and they're still doing it, and even worse now, because the white people left them there to themselves. They gone out of control. This is South Africa happening in America. You've been warned. Communism is being ushered through the blacks. And nobody is trying to help the blacks because they need the blacks to be doing what they're doing so they can get power and wealth. And there are some that starting to overcome. They're starting to say, you know what, I didn't know this, Jesse. I thought it was something else. They lied to me. I didn't know I needed to forgive my mama. I didn't know I was possessed with evil. The spiritual order of God, the Father. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. The love comes from above. The light comes from above. And the darkness comes from below through the woman. The light comes from above through the man. And Lord knows we need light in this world. It's interesting in that your life, your family life, if you have a wife and kids, nothing is going to work, period, but that order. Parents do not love their children. Oh, they're sad. And when they say it, they sound all emotional about it, one way or another. Feel good emotion or feel bad emotions. And then you applaud, oh. Or if it look like it's good when the mother say, oh, I love my children, or the father, you go, oh. If it's bad, you go, oh, man. You still have a false reaction to it. One thing for sure, and without a doubt, parents do not love their children, and especially mothers. There are mothers now who are starting to hear the truth and go and forgive their mothers and return to their fathers, and they're waking up. And the love from above is starting to come through them. That's changing slowly. But the average woman, and especially the working woman that's married, does not, do not, is not, can't not, won't not love the man's children, period. She would sacrifice them for ego pleasures. I have more proof right now. Parents do not love their children. Listen to this. This was stunning to me this morning while going over it with my producer. This is from the CDC.gov. ADHD, anxiety problems, behavior problems, and depression are the most commonly diagnosed mental disorders in children. Isn't that amazing? In 2016 through 2019, estimate among children ages 3 through 17. 3 to 17. What in the world does any child age 3 through 17, why would they be depressed or have something called ADHD or behavior problem? What happened? Why would, when I was growing up, you didn't even hear these words. I guess they didn't exist then because fathers and mothers, for the most part, were raising their children. That's gone now. And instead of bringing back the order, they are giving their children fake titles of problems and then medication so that they don't have to be bothered with them. They're like, I don't care my child got HD. Give him or her a pill. In 2016 through 2019, estimate among children ages 3 to 17. Listen to this. Approximately 6.0 million with ADHD. 6.0 million children have, they say, that's a lie. I'm not a medical doctor, but that's a lie. They may have anger problem because their fathers are not protecting them from the mothers, but that's spiritual. And medication ain't going to do nothing about it but hook them on other drugs as they get older. You cannot solve spiritual issues with physical nothing. So ages 13 to 7 are approximately 6.0 million with ADHD, approximately 5.8 million with anxiety, approximately 5.5 million with behavior problems, approximately 2.7 million with depression. 1 out of 20 of all U.S. children are taking medication for ADHD. 1 out of 20 of all U.S. children are taking medication for ADHD. Now, do you believe me when I tell you that only anger, evil coming through the mother and corrupting the children and turning them away from the father? Do you believe me now? And then instead of correcting the situation, because all who are born through the woman must be born again of the father, they say, you know what, I ain't changing nothing. Give that child medication and put a fancy title on it so that the world can agree that is not the mama, it's something else. It's ADHD. Amazing. How do you tell children that they have anxiety or attention deficit something? That doesn't even make sense. Kids are active. They're born that way. But you don't have the patience to be around energized, active children. It's you. It's not the kids. But you'd rather destroy your children than to fix yourself. According to the CDC.gov, children with ADHD may have trouble paying attention, controlling impulsive behaviors, may act without thinking, or be very active, very overly active. Doesn't sound like children naturally? That's not a medical problem. The problem with you not being able to handle it and then falling for the lie from the so-called experts and counselors, the dummies with degrees who have made a deal with the medication makers. Hey, let's make money off these children. And you sold your children's soul for the money. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. It's not the children, it's the parents. They don't care. They have no love. Watch this from NBC. ADHD medications are in shortage. They're short on the medication. So many kids are on it now. And that makes sense to you? Why don't you look at cause and effect? Why are they feeling that way? Are they acting like their mothers or grandmothers? NBC has reported ADHD medications are in a shortage. Frustrating parents and doctors. The doctor's like, how am I going to make money if they ain't got the pill? Watch this from NBC.
The morning rush, organized chaos at the Didier home in Kansas. Getting 17-year-old Isaac and 9-year-old Joshua off to school. Two of the more than 6 million children on ADHD medicines, caught in an ongoing shortage of the drugs.
Did you take your meds?
Yeah. turning parents like Jeremy into medical detectives.
It says dexamethasone is not serviced because it's unavailable from the manufacturer.
Do you guys have any 20s in stock? Can we drop her down to 20?
What started as a shortage of Adderall has created a domino effect, says medicines that help 4 of Jeremy Didier's children focus in school and life.
I can't think of anything worse as a parent than knowing that you're letting your kids down by not being able to get them what they need to be successful.
In a joint letter last month, the FDA and DEA pointed to record high prescription rates and blamed manufacturers for not producing the full amounts allowed. But several major manufacturers told NBC News they plan to produce the maximum they're allowed and have asked the government for permission to produce more, so children and adults can keep their focus.
Wow. So children and adults don't have to be responsible. Ain't it some turning your children into zombies because you don't have the patience to raise them? Look how anxious the mother was. Ah, no medicine. What the? That is insane. Those parents are evil. Pure evil. They do not love their children. Turning their children into drug addicts already. And when they grow older and start using other drugs to get high, they're going to say, oh, I don't know what's wrong with that child. I did everything I could for them. I wanted them to be successful. I gave them Adderall or whatever they give them for spiritual issues. That is so insane, I don't even know what to say. But I understand it. When you have anger, you can't see what you're doing. Everything you do is wrong. It's impossible to be right and do right when you have anger. Impossible. They have a shortage on this medication. And it makes us like, we got to get the government to give us permission to make more. We need money. Money, money, money off these human beings. And this woman had a whole little thing of medication and just pop them over and feed them. And then when it's time to deal with real life, then those kids are not going to be able to do it. They won't be able to handle real situations because they've been high all through their youth. They've been unconscious, not dealing with anything. That is crazy. See why you have to be born again of the Father and be in the world but not of it? The world is hell on earth, and not the physical world, but the people like that in this world who have not overcome and returned to the Father. MedlinePlus.gov is saying that Munchausen by proxy is a mental illness and a form of child abuse. The caretaker of a child, most often a mother, make up fake symptoms or causes real symptoms, make up fake symptoms or causes real symptoms to make it look like the child is sick. Watch this from WFAA.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy is a complicated disorder. Simply put, it's medical abuse when a child or someone in another person's care is put through unnecessary medical treatments because their caretaker lies about the victim's health and symptoms. Doctor shopping is a big one when a caretaker goes to multiple medical facilities, sometimes in different states, to get procedures done. Another, the caretaker might insist on a diagnosis that tests prove to be false. One of the more recent cases involved Dallas mother Kayleen Bowen. In 2019, she was arrested for medical child abuse or Munchausen syndrome by proxy. She was sentenced to 6 years for subjecting her son to hundreds of unnecessary procedures and surgeries.
Amazing. Now, do you believe me when I say that the women need the fathers, the husbands, the father to guide them in raising children? They cannot do it on their own. They need the light that comes through the father to guide them. And ladies, in case the husband don't change, or the boyfriend, whomever, you can go straight to the father too and overcome the darkness, but you got to work on yourself. You got to forgive your mothers because they have recreated you in their image, and you repeat the same old thing. Why do you think our world is falling apart? Look who's taking over. You're giving it over to them, the women, and everything is going to hell real fast. Everything. Nothing is working. That's evil. But they give it a fancy name instead of saying, this evil mother have done this to her children or child. Or they call it Munchausen. According to the report, this woman doing it to her own kids for the thrill of it. Think about, look at your own individual life. Be honest with yourself, even if you don't say it out loud. You're not obligated to. But look at how you love the thrill of things and what you do for a thrill, a so-called good thrill or a bad one, and or both. Epic Time is reporting parents' personality disorder driving surge in trans kids. Parents' personality disorder driving surge in trans kids. Transhousing by proxy, a term coined for parents who pushes gender transitioning on their children. And because they enjoy the attention from having a trans kid, may be playing a role in the rise of transgender children. This is evil. Watch this from Postman Clinic.
At 10 years old, Josie Romero believed she was born in the wrong body, and her parents have been seeking a controversial hormone therapy that would start chemically changing her boy body into an adolescent girl's.
Are you a boy or are you a girl?
Maybe I'm a boy inside and a girl outside.
Really?
Yeah, is that true?
Only you know the answer to that. So if you wanted to grow up to be a man,
yeah,
would you tell me?
Yeah.
Hey, if you wanted to grow up and be a man, you could.
I want to be... Sometimes I think I'm a boy, sort of, but I want to be a girl.
Yeah. I feel like maybe there's a part of you that's afraid to tell me what you really want. What if I said, oh, please don't be a girl?
So I guess I'll be a boy. I need to listen to you and my mom.
I have to listen to you.
Yeah, well, if you said I need to be a boy, maybe
no.
I have to.
No.
Had Vanessa's wholehearted, unwavering support of Josie's transition actually pushed her child too far, too fast?
Amazing. That's an evil, wicked mother imposing that on the boy. And even in the tone, the way she talked to the boy is evil. I have to listen to you. The boy said, no, I have to listen to you. You're my mom. Now, why don't you know something else gotta be wrong for a mother of a man's child to tell her son or even influence or encourage or even have anything to say you're a girl? All for the thrill of it. And they give it fancy names instead of calling it evil. I want you to know, do what you want. And I understand most people are not going to accept it. Some are, those who are hearing it and can see it, they're overcoming. But every human being, born through the woman is possessed with evil after they come through the woman. They're not born that way unless the mother was pregnant or carrying on while she was pregnant. She can corrupt the spirit of the child from good to evil, even in the womb. And they'll come out of the womb a little Hitler because their spirit was corrupt in the womb. But it's the spirit of the mother that's doing this, which is the spirit of the devil. It's not the mother herself spirit, but it's the evil spirit that's in her. And you see what this lady doing with that little boy, trying to, whatever. You could be a girl, what you want. The boy was like, well, I have to listen to you. You're my mom. And where's the father to protect his son from that? And they put a fancy name on it, trans housing for transgender children. That's evil happening to innocent children, corrupting their spirit. You must be born again of the Father. Ain't nothing going to get better for you in life until you are born the second time of the Spirit. You're born of the flesh, and this is what happened. Why not be born of the Spirit and be free? You are possessed. Anyone that has anger, you're possessed with the spirit of evil. It ain't nothing else but that. And it brings on anxiety and worry, fear and doubt. It brings on these things because there's nothing good in that nature of evil, which is the nature of devil. And you have these stupid people with degrees telling you it's this, is that. They calling it everything but what it is because educated people are dumb people. Intellectual people are dumb people. They're separated from truth. I want you to hear my producer reading this thing from the New York Times. How come you don't see? I mean, I'm asking this question. Why don't you see that it's evil in you? And I'm still going to ask, but I know the answer, and I'm still asking. Why don't you, as an individual adult, see the evil inside of you? Why don't you stop listening to anybody else and listen to the Spirit of the Father inside of you? And stop letting these people put these fancy names on it so that you don't see that it's evil. You are possessed with the spirit of evil inside your body, your mind, and emotions. And anyone that is into emotions, feelings, and anger and all that, you better run. That's an evil person. Isn't that amazing? It's almost heartbreaking to see that woman do that to that boy, according to the report. So Sean is here, and my producer, amazing stuff. I'm stunned. I'm not stunned that these things are happening, but at the numbers, I had no idea. Even the New York Times knows better. Watch this.
You know, usually New York Times is not necessarily on point about things.
Yeah.
And even this is you know, says things that we wouldn't necessarily agree with. But what happens is kids, especially, I mean, the amount of kids that I knew growing up who were put on medication because they were a little fidgety or a little hyperactive is insane. And it messes them up, you know. They're on it for years and then they try to go off it. And then they have to go on antidepressant medication or something else to try to fix that.
Amazing.
And so
you knew kids like that growing up. I didn't know any kids like that growing up.
Many kids.
That is insane.
So they I've said this before on the show, but they wake up, especially boys, you know, boys need that rough and tumble play. They need to be physical.
It's a born,
right.
It's given to them by God.
So they wake up in the morning, their parents give them sugary cereal for breakfast, and then they have to go sit in a hard plastic chair for 8 hours. And then if they're a little fidgety or they're a little talkative, they label it as ADD or ADHD, and they put them on something to calm them down and help them focus.
When God said the heart is evil, he wasn't lying about that.
Yeah, so anyway.
What the? He doesn't lie about anything, but he wasn't lying.
New York Times says policymakers around the world have pushed to make mental health resources more available to young people through social media. Therapy influencers flood online feeds with content about personality disorders. Studies have found that these programs made their mental health problems worse. So, in other words, influencers, people online talking about personality disorders, trauma, panic attacks, and they just, you know, kids who don't know any better will just start labeling themselves as things because they see it online. They don't know. They're not mental health professionals.
They just repeating what they hear.
Yeah. Greater awareness of mental illness leads people to talk in terms of symptoms and diagnosis. Teenagers are especially prone to take psychological labels to heart. Instead of I am nervous about X, a teenager might say I can't do X because I have anxiety.
Wow,
And
I hear that a lot.
You hear that a lot, right?
Yeah.
People who say it's my anxiety.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that today. It's my anxiety acting up.
And so that's what it means when it says greater awareness of mental illness lead people to talk in terms of symptoms and diagnosis.
Right. Right. So they hear these words and they say, oh, I'm diagnosed as this, or I'm diagnosed as that.
I hear that all the time.
And they're so prideful of it. It's that they get an identity from it. You know?
Move Sean to his right a bit. To your right.
That's my right.
Oh, okay.
The other way. My left.
Oh, Joel said you're right. No, he's black. Joel, you don't even know right from left? Anyway, but that's insane.
It's a major issue. Especially boys. But not always.
It's amazing to me how in today's world, adult parents and non-adult folks, non-parent adults, they listen to so-called experts about everything because they're in their own life.
Yep. Yeah, I'm rewatching The Sopranos right now on HBO, and the kid in the family is in school, and the school tries to tell the parents that he might have ADD or ADHD, and the father, Mr. Soprano, comes in and he goes, define a fidget. What's a fidget? Define it. What is that? You know what I mean? If he's rocking his leg up and down, is that a fidget? You going to put him on medication for that? It's like they're
crazy.
Boys. They're just boys.
I have a friend of mine where his daughter, the school was trying to encourage his wife to let them put the daughter on that kind of medication. And the mother was going to let it happen, but they happened to talk to the father about it before it happened. And the father said, no, not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that happen. Y'all ain't put my daughter on no medication.
Right.
She ain't got no problem. And then now she's a doctor. Never got the medication, grew up like a little girl should.
Yep.
And she's doing fine. Not drugged out, not in a coma, unconscious coma. All that, it's crazy.
Yep. Several friends were just put on meds.
They are doing this because they trust somebody with a degree of their own life.
Nobody talks to them about forgiveness. Nobody talks to them about anger.
Nobody tell them, you know what? You're angry. You're possessed with evil. You need to get better, mother. So the kids will be fine.
Yeah.
Ain't no money in that. That's why they do it that way.
Right.
Ain't no money. It's all for the money and the ego.
And they're mostly females too. The boys wake up, they go and they have a female teacher at school. A lot of them don't have fathers in the home, so they have a mother, aunts, grandmas at home, female teachers at school. There's no males.
Even the police is female.
Yeah. You want to play that real quick? It's really funny.
Oh, where is it?
It's 2C. I could read it if you want.
Okay.
Video posted from Daily Mail. Video posted on social media. 4 female Chicago police officers attempting to arrest a suspected shoplifter, has sparked backlash over the department's health and fitness standards.
Watch this. These 4 women, females, cannot handle one person. What the? Watch this. So the cops stopping, 4 women, 1 male.
You get another vehicle over to the system on the east side of northeast corner of 95th and Ashland.
Can I get a couple more cars?
There are 4 people there already.
12 out.
Let's transport one.
That lady's like, no, I'm too fat for this.
0206. 213. All right, 959. Give me some more cars. Give me some more cars, 959.
You got 4. They can't stop. They need more cars.
233, we got it.
Unbelievable.
What a mess.
Can we get another car, please? Maybe 4 more females to get it done.
Wow.
Yeah. So
this is horrible, but I understand it. It's evil. It is pure evil.
Yeah.
Madness is happening in the home and to the children, and what the experts are offering you for your children, and you're giving it to them. And there are mothers out there who are encouraging their boys and girls to be so-called transgender so that they can feel good about it. They can get attention. That is mind-blowing. And we mentioned that even Ron DeSantis know that something is wrong with this. They had their little debate last night. I didn't even watch it. They were pumping this debate. They were trying hard to make it be something that you want to watch, right? And anybody that know Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, you already know it. They say, you know what they're about. It wasn't a big deal. But this is from ABC. Here's Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom debate on Fox News last night. Watch this from Fox.
But let me just say something about parents' rights, because he says California respects parents' rights. If you're a parent in Iowa or New Hampshire or South Carolina, your minor child can go to California without your knowledge or without your consent and get hormone therapy, puberty blockers, and a sex change operation, all without you knowing or consenting. How in the heck is that honoring parents' rights when you're bringing people from out of state to go around their parents' backs and getting life-altering surgeries? That is radical. That is
Ron,
extreme.
these kids
That is an
just
assault
want
on
to live.
parents' rights.
You know what, Ron?
Not for you to decide. It's for the parents to decide. And the parents do not want their kids.
Survive.
Amazing. And you let the government tell you how to raise your children. Parents have just given up raising their children because they want thrills. Amazing. Kids just want to live, he says, something like that. Gavin Newsom. What a mess. It's a spiritual battle, folks. You must be born again. It's up to you. You can live in the darkness of your imagination, the abnormal nature, which is of evil. Or you can live in the light, the kingdom of heaven on earth. And most people, I understand it. I understand it so clearly. As most people love their hell. They love the thrill of their misery, the thrill of their fears and jealousy and strife and envious and revenge and whatever. They love it. They roam the earth, even if it means destroying their own children. They roam the earth to get a thrill, and they call it life. I totally understand it now. I get it. I get it. I understand it.